Testing. We're good? We're good? Are we good? Am I in focus? Hi guys! So today I'm going to be doing a bridal test. I'm getting married in June and this is going to be more for myself so I can just see how everything looks on camera and see if I like how it looks. So here we go. I'm also sick, so if I sound funny and if I'm coughing a lot, I'm sorry. So I've already moisturized my skin and I'm gonna actually try out some primer. I don't usually wear primer because my skin is super dry, but I've got this Ordinary high spreadability primer. Like a dropper, you really only need like a drop. It goes a really, really, really long way. Skin is primed. For my foundation, I'm going to be using my Smashbox Studio Skin 15-hour wear hydrating foundation. I'm going to take 2 pumps of that and just going to dot it all over my face. And then I'm going to take my XO Beauty flat top face brush. It's super old. She's got a new updated one that's probably a much better, but I still love this guy. This foundation is the best. Do you like my hairdo? It's a look. Next I'm going to take this Tarte Shape Tape concealer. It is the best stuff that I have ever used. Oh geez, there's a hair. Oh geez. And we're just going to blend that in. I bring it up on my eyelids too as a primer. I've got my sponge, and I've got my RCMA No Color Powder. You want to do a really light hand with this and any translucent powder on your wedding because it flashes back. And if you use a damp sponge, it really just melts it into the skin. I'm going to do my brows. This is my NYX Micro Pencil in the shade Ash Brown. And I'm just going to fill them in. Don't pluck your eyebrows to death. You will get pregnant and die. This is my Mary Kay blushes. We've got Shy Girl and Strawberry Cream. I think I'm going to mix them both together. I'm also going to use my Sephora blush in the shade Tea Rose Tickle. This is too much blush. I can't commit to this. Just take some of your translucent powder again and just go over it a little bit. You can even go over it with your foundation brush a little bit too. Then for a highlight on your wedding day, you don't want anything that's too intense or metallic or glittery or chunky. So I went for a really cheap, really natural, skin-like highlighter. It is the Essence Pure Nude Highlighter in the shade number 10, Be My Highlight. It's just great and it's like $3. I'm just going to apply this to the tops of my cheeks. And it just really melts into the skin. And I love it. I suppose it's time to do the eyes on British. My 2 favorite brushes for doing the eyes. I always do like a natural hair brush because they blend much easier. I'm going to be using the Morphe M441 and the Morphe M443. Sorry, M433. I'm going to be using my Stila In The Light palette. This palette is so old. It was my first like high-end palette I have ever bought for myself, and it is long since been discontinued, but it is still one of my favorites ever, ever, ever. This palette has one of my favorite transition shades ever, which is called Bliss, which is right there. It's just super woo. So I'm just going to take that with my big fluffy M441 brush and just start applying that into the crease area. And then I'm just gonna take that just kind of all over the lid too. I'm gonna go into my Too Faced Chocolate Bar palette. It's a classic. I'm gonna use the shade Semi-Sweet, which is a slightly darker brown. And we're just gonna go kind of just on the outer part of the eye. I'm just gonna start building up the depth out there. And one of the tricks to looking really blended is to add the colors slowly, build up slowly, blend until you bleed. Don't do that. Okay, once I'm happy with that, I'm going to move on to my little Mary Kay quad in the shade Sandstorm. There's just really pretty champagne-y colors. And I'm going to take the mid-tone color in this. So it's this guy right there. And I'm just going to start putting that all over the lid. And then I'm going to take the lightest shade in that palette and start putting that on the inside, the inner third of the eye, just to make it start popping. I'm not a big Mary Kay advocate, and I'm sure you can find these colored shadows almost anywhere, but I really like this little quad. I'm going to take the third darkest shade from the palette, and we're just kind of making a gradient effect on the lid here. And now I'm going to take the darkest shade in it, which is this little kind of purpley brown shade. And we're going to put that on the very outer V. And I'm going to use my finger and dip it into that lighter shade again and just really build up the intensity. If you want to too, you can even bring it on the very inner tear duct. It's a very, very pretty color. And I'm going to go into my Too Faced Chocolate Bar palette again, and now I'm going to take the shade Triple Fudge, which is just a really dark matte brown. You could do black on the outer corners, and I've tried it, and just black eyeshadow scares me. Once again, this is just going to be on the very outer corner, and I'm trying to keep it quite low too. I'm going back into my Stila In The Light palette, and I'm going to use that crease color one more time and just blend everything out up here. I'm even going to take some of the lightest shade. It's called Bare, which is basically a skin tone shade, and I'm going to use that just to buff out the edges even more, especially on the inner corner here. I don't want dark colors on the inner part. Now I'm going to take my Morphe E18 brush, which is a little pencil brush, and I'm going to take that initial crease shade from the Stila palette, the shade Bliss, and I'm going to start putting that underneath my eye. Going back to the Mary Kay quad, I'm going to take that shade right here, the third deepest shade, and do the same thing. Once again, just slowly building the intensity up. And then we're going to start taking the darker colors that I used on the top of the lid onto the bottom of the lid. So I'm taking that purple shade again, and these guys I'm really going to concentrate on the very outside here. Okay, so in my Stila palette, I'm going to take the black and the brown shades, the dark ones, and kind of mix them, and I'm going to use that as eyeliner. I'm just going to get that right in that lash line. If you use an eyeshadow instead of a gel or liquid or pencil liner, it will give you just a much softer effect. Oh yeah, and I'm just applying this with a little Coastal Scents angled brush. Any little angled brush like this will do. And then when we get to the end, I'm going to flick it out just the tiniest bit. I don't want a wing. Using a powder eyeliner too is really beneficial if you have nervous hands and you're shaking a ton, because it's not like liquid liner where if you make the littlest mistake it's totally ruined. This is so forgiving. What I like to do too is I take my pencil brush and I am going to just buff it out just a little bit. And you can just build up the intensity to however you want it. I'm going to take the tiniest amount of the black eyeshadow and just put it really, really close to my lash line down here. This will just give you a little extra definition and kind of tie it all together. I'm going to be using a crayon eyeliner. This is the Sephora Contour Eye Pencil 12-hour wear, waterproof. Waterproof is essential for a wedding day because I'm gonna cry like a baby. It's gonna be bad. I'm just going to tightline with this. Nobody wants gaps in their eye makeup. And then I'm going to go in with mascara. I'm using the L'Oreal Voluminous Carbon Black Waterproof. I don't know if I like it yet. I love the original of this, but the waterproof can kind of smudge. I get really smudgy, especially up here, no matter how much powder I use or not. It's just how it is. I've got hooded eyes. So if any of you have any like really good recommendations for a waterproof mascara that does not move, please let me know. I've got 71 days. Didn't bother curling my lashes because I'm going to be putting falsies on, which kind of scares the bejesus out of me. I will be right back. I'm going to go put on false lashes off camera because there is no way that I can do it here. It's too much pressure. And I'm back. I used the new Ardell faux mink lashes. I think these are the 811, and I just used some Kiss lash glue, the kind that you like just brush on rather than squeeze on. Gotta hide that lash band. I'm going to use the NYX Epic Ink Liner. It's just a standard black liquid liner, and we're just gonna go right over the band. For my waterline, I don't want to have anything too dark. I don't want black. I am thinking about maybe trying a brown, like MAC Teddy liner, but today I'm going to use the Colourpop Cream Gel Liner in the shade Honey Dude. It's just a flesh toned eyeliner, and this will really brighten and cancel out any redness, which I have a ton of because I've been sick. Please excuse the state of this lip liner that I have. This is my Colourpop Aquarius lip liner. It's my favorite. It's obviously extremely well loved. I'm just going to outline the lips. And then what I like to do is I like to pat it in and kind of blend it out with my finger. My lips are quite pigmented as it is, and this lip liner is a little bit darker than I would like a wedding lip to be, so I'm taking my MAC Blankety, and funny story, I only have this little sample of it. I had the bullet, but then my 6-year-old daughter got into it last night and thought it would be fun to twist it all up with the cap still on, and I ordered a replacement though, but luckily I have this little sample backup thing, so we're gonna try Blankety and see how it looks. So this is my finished look, guys. I hope you liked it. I am really digging the eye makeup today. It turned out good. I think I'm gonna go a little bit lighter on the blush next time. Yeah, so thank you for watching. If you guys are getting married soon, congratulations. If you have any tips for any sort of makeup, anything for a summer, June wedding, please comment and let me know. I am looking for any type of advice you can give me. All right, have a good day, guys. Thanks again. Mwah!